Welcome to this look at a new mod map on Farming Simulator 22 with me, MrSealyp. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Estancia Pindorama MT. This is the new mod map out by Modhub Brasil, 80.6 megabytes to download. There are no required mods to download. There are no custom crops. Contracts are available. This is Modhub Brasil's first foray into maps, as far as I can tell, looking on the Modhub. They've made some mods before. I get a really weird feeling on this one that this is a map that what could have been, not what is. It will make more sense in a minute, because what is really weird, they haven't actually even included any of their mods in the map that I can tell, which I thought was a bit peculiar. We start here. Well, let's go to the map. This is the map. We start down here with plot 1, and we do start with this plot here. Plot 13 or 14, one of them, which is the biogas plant. So on New Farm we start with those. The slot count is 805 on New Farmer, and that's what we start with, and the equipment and machinery is down here. Now the field prices, plot prices are up there, as is the verges, the periphery, which I'll show you in a moment. We do have some cheaper plots down here, which I say cheaper, 243, 231, 164. But then as we kind of move across, we've got a lot of forest plots. They're getting up there. That one there, for example, 1.356 million, 913. They're up there. But if we click on the periphery, 556,502,400. I'm trying to think if I've encountered a map that's that expensive to buy the sort of outside edges of the map. It's a curiosity. Anyway, something else to be aware of, and when I'm doing map tours, I'm always looking for the various different things, points of interest, things on a map. And we've got all of these. Now that symbol is for a production. It has a little boxes on a conveyor belt. That's a production symbol. And they're everywhere. And I was like, wow, okay, that's pretty cool. They're not. They're if I click on that and it says visit, and we go there, it just takes us to a forested area. And if I click on this one, it just says, it's just basically, it's telling you there's a forested area there. It's a curious one. Again, it's not something I've come across, I don't think, before. Sorry, a bit squeaky. It's a weird one. All the forest areas have them on there. So what I did was I put in a load of money off camera, government subsidy signs, bought up a couple of plots. I thought, what if when you buy the forest area, you've got a sawmill, or there's a firewood point or something there. There isn't. If I click on this one and go there, it just takes you to the forested area. So yeah, a curious one that I haven't really encountered very much before. So we'll come back to our start point, which is here. Now, as I said, 805 on Farm Manager. On New Farmer. On Farm Manager and Start from Scratch, that goes from 805 down to 793. The difference being, you don't have that shed there, and you don't have your sleep trigger. And that's it. What I'm also curious about, and it's weird, you've got all this equipment just out, sort of lined up. It's like, okay, this is your start equipment, bump, 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 just laid out. That's the only building you get. It's quite an open area. Now, there's always that balancing point between a map that is a kind of, it's up to you to build and do what you want with. So we're starting with a little sort of trailer type thing. So there is that kind of thing of, okay, you're just starting out, you've got the ability to then build a farm and kind of go from there. And I totally understand that. But it just seems very sparse, and it's not even like the equipment and machinery you have got is in the shed. I don't know. What's the best way? If unfinished, I don't know. That seems very detrimental to the map maker, but it does have a weird feel. Now, some of those things can be adjusted and amended in the Modhub, because if the map maker has deliberately done things on a map, and that's any map maker, with the intention that you can then go on with things that are in the Modhub and go for it, run wild. There's all this stuff, just make it your own. And when I say this is that what could have been, you'll see later on when we get to a point, there's a really cool part on the map which you can't then actually do something with. I know I'm being cryptic, it'll make more sense in a minute. Anyway, let's get round. Cows. 250 just here, sort of open cow pasture that runs out around the farm area here. Equipment machinery is just here. Now, if you do sell all the equipment machinery on farm management start from scratch, or any of the modes, of course, if you do decide you want to get rid of the sheds and the house on New Farmer, I got the slot count down to 673. You can get it lower, because I think when you own the biogas plant, I say I think, I know because I tested it, you can get rid of the biogas plant as well, so you would be able to get that down lower if you wanted to. But our starter equipment is just here. Enough to get you going. You don't start with a farm silo or anything like that. Now, the feed point for your chickens is here. Your buy point, drop-off point is here. And your egg boxes and pallets will spawn just here. And then what you've got just behind is this little kind of lime pit that you start with. You go drive around the corner there, around the side. You've got a little lime pit. And again, this is one of those things, and I know this is going to sound weird, but it's on a lot of Brazilian maps. And I'm not, like I say, this is not a culmination of it's all just pouring out and I'm having a go at Modhub Brazil. But it's curious that on a lot of Brazilian maps there seems to be a very big, an obsession, but with lime pits, lime stations everywhere. I say most, that's a generalisation, but a lot of Brazilian maps seem to have in one corner a big quarry. Some other maps do as well. I'm just saying, it's a kind of generalisation, but it's I don't know, it's a curiosity. Just bear with me a moment while I have a mild coughing fit. So I will start with the tractor. When we get to the vehicle shop, we'll switch to a pickup. The map, we have this river that runs all up here. There's only one crossing point right up here. I don't see any reason why. There are plenty of mods, bridges. I don't see why you couldn't put a bridge in elsewhere. I haven't tried, but like I don't see why not. Let's just say that. I guess it's a potential. And the forested areas, when we're going to drive through one now, they are dense. I mean, densely packed. The map, I don't want it to come across that I'm being really, really negative. I know that's what it appears at the moment. I'm just stating what I can see, and of course these are always it's just my opinion, what I'm seeing and what I'm experiencing as I'm doing the map tour. And it's quite dense. We've got to get in quite tight, but there's a few areas with fencing as well, which I know a lot of people aren't big fans of, but it is what it is. The map itself has got a real nice the terrain aspect, as you'll see now. We come out of the tree line, or out of the trees into this wide open area. It has a nice feel to it, a nice flow to it. And as I've said many times before, I'm not a map maker, I'm not a modder. I know some map makers and I know some modders, and I know how difficult it is to do this. I know how complicated it is to do this, and I know how hard it is to get them onto PC anyway, but onto console is so much more difficult, and I can't thank modders and map makers enough for doing that. I don't want it to seem like, oh, he's always just slamming, but no, that's not the case at all. But the point of a review, of doing a map tour, of doing a mod review, is to talk about what you see, what you're experiencing, and often how it makes you feel when you're doing it. You know, it would be pointless of me to every single map tour to be exactly the same, and then people would have no idea what a map's like. You know, it's just I don't know, I'm just trying to justify it. I'm not sure. It depends if you watch my map tours, if you just watch my mod reviews, if you just watch my let's plays. If you just watch my let's plays, you won't be watching this, so that won't be relevant. If you watch all of them, I appreciate that massively. And if you are watching my social media, you'll be aware I'm not well at the moment. I feel like I did when I had COVID. And I had COVID, what, 3 times? Oh man, this has knocked me sideways. I know people say, oh, you should be resting. I need to work. I need to work. And if I have to record in short spurts between coughing fits and blowing my nose, and my head is splitting, but it is what it is. And you know, I'm doing this for you. So we are here at the biogas plant. Like I said, a new farmer, we do start with it. So we're up here. We drove down across there, up there. We're now at this point here. Now you can sell the biogas plant. I'll show you that in a moment. When you own the land, should I say? Actually, I'm just trying to say, is that linked to? No, there you go. So this farmland here, value 0. Isn't that a weird juxtaposition? Is it juxtaposition? Is that the right word? Between having the biogas plant land, which has a value of 0, so you can get it anyway. So regardless of whether you start with it or not on farmland, you'll start from scratch. You can get it for 0. And then the outside perimeter and the verges is 556 million. I just can't reconcile the two. It's very weird, isn't it? I don't know. Lime station, you're going to see lots of these as we go around the map. There are lime stations all over the place. And the biogas plant is fairly standard with regard to incoming materials and outgoing product being digestate. Just there. But like I say, you can't, interestingly, even though we do own the land here, we can't sell or get rid of the let's go to demolish. Can't get rid of the silage clamp, the lime station or the shed, but if you wanted to, you can get rid of the biogas plant. I'll do it, just show you. There you go. So if you have a different biogas plant in mind or something else you want to use the plot for, you don't do biogas, silage work, that kind of stuff, you could use it for something else if you want to. Considering the land's free, it's then up to you to do with what you will. Activities of any description. Set up a volleyball court, I don't know, it's up to you. So from here, we're going to head up the map. I say it's dense. Let's get the lights turned on so we can see a little bit better. There's no point me zooming out for you to see because it's just trees. You won't be able to see anything, but we do open out again. There you go. On our left coming out, there's a water point. There's a little track that runs down into the water, but again, in the Modhub, there are plenty of places for water, but this is a designated water point on the map. And then we have to do a kind of duck back. There we go. So just here, coming past this water source, then we have to do a hairpin. Get a bit of a yoik on the handbrake. I know it doesn't work on a tractor, but maybe employ a bit of left braking, whatever. Cross a little bridge here, and this is what I was talking about earlier. So I looked out, and again, when you're doing map tours, you've got to look out for things because you know it's easy to miss stuff, and then people say, "Oh, well, what about?" And on the map. And when you look out here, you've got this irrigation system, and the fields drop down. And I thought, oh, straight away, I thought, oh, that's pretty cool. We've had these before on South American maps. It was Italia Rice or Italia Demo. Irrigation systems, but it's not. They're regular fields. We have got an irrigation sort of system set up here. If we come to the map, I'll show you where we are. We're just here. So these fields here are all sort of lower, jump that. However, you can't flood them, and there are no extra crop types, so there's no rice or anything added in to utilise these. You can utilise them as regular things, and I suppose do a, you know, in your head and however you want to do it. You know, you could irrigate them, and this is what I was talking about what could have been, because in the Modhub there's nothing available. I don't know about PC, but on console. There's no mod for irrigation system. There's no mod for setting up a system to do that. So whereas a map can be set up so you've got the freedom to build it as you want, with something like this, to have it on the map, and it's a really cool feature, but then it's not, you can't then do anything with it. It's a curiosity. Again, it's just, it's a feature on the map. I'm showing you it, and just, you know, again, explaining my thoughts on it as I'm kind of going around. It's just one of those, it kind of stands out as an obvious feature. And then I'm checking thinking, have I missed something? And if there is an irrigation system in there that does work, where are the points for it? And if there are points for it, what crop goes in there? But there were no additional crops added in, so let's say I don't know. I've had a few conversations recently with different people regarding different map makers, and obviously different people that follow me, and you know, different map makers I know and whatever. They'll do live streams of works in progress. You know, people like Lancy Boy and Poor Boy, and you know, there's so many different people out there, and a lot of map makers I know, no different to YouTubers, no different to people putting out content, whoever you might be, whether it's modders, map makers. If you're putting yourself out there, you're putting yourself out to anybody. And I know a few people have messaged me to say, were you aware that X, Y, Z, whoever they are considering not making mods anymore, not making maps anymore, not, you know, because they're getting hammered and berated all the time about what they have done, what they haven't done, what they could do, what they should be doing better, that kind of thing. I don't want people to think I'm doing the same thing. I'm not. I always try when I do my map tours to give a balanced view of everything, and as I said earlier, this is probably why I'm conscious of it, because I've had a conversation over the last 24 hours with someone about a particular map maker, and I don't want people to think that's not the case, not at all. I don't want people to think, oh, you know, if Modhub Brasil then goes and watches my map tour and says, oh, I'm never making a map again, he hated it. No, that's not the case at all. Not the case at all. I'm just saying, look, this is here, this is that, this is this, you know, because people will ask immediately, oh, irrigation system, does it work? I couldn't find a system to make it work. You know, and then people will message, especially if people don't play on console or they're new to the game. Is there a system on console for doing something like that? There's not. So I'm just trying to, you know, explain it away. I'm not. I don't want to be part of that problem. That's not my intention. I try to balance everything out as best I can. Lime station just there, and we are at the north silo sell point, which is just here. So we're up in the north west of the map, right up here. What we're going to do now, I'm going to cut across, but there's a track where we just came from that water point here. We took a hairpin back. This track runs right up here, winds around here, and we need to then head down to these points here. Like I say, all of these are just forest locations telling you where they are. This one here, there's a fence around it, and I did double check it, and I did purchase it because I wondered if it was a pasture for animals, and it's not. Part forest, part field, which you can purchase if you want to. That's a Sebron plot 28. And then we'll head into the main town, and what I'm going to probably do, I'll cut across just for the case of expediency. A moment to clear the tubes. Lubrication is the key. Bit of 3-in-1 oil. For me, that is. I think that would probably work better. Oh dear. Right, sweeping around, following the fence. This is the fence line I was talking about. I saw the fence line, I thought, oh, is that a pasture? It is just a plot. We turn right down here. And we're going to sweep around to Sawmill and Carpentry. Yes, it is. That's where we are. Sawmill around this side. I did check it. Standard sawmill. Just here. Carpentry just the other side. Again, standard carpentry. Furniture from wood or planks. And then just down the back there, we've got a lime station. Just back there. So we came across the map, but the track runs up there, and we joined it kind of here, swept around there and down here, so we're now here at this point here. There we go. Sawmill, carpentry, lime station. It's interesting because as I'm going around, I'm thinking, I know I'm right, but I'm still thinking, you know, I'm going to double check it. Let's go to that one, visit. I don't want to miss something, you know. There's definitely not a production here. There's not. No, we're fine. We're fine. Let's go back to carpentry. Jump back in the tractor. And then sweep down in towards the town itself. I have a lot of productions down here. There's a couple of productions down here that are duplicated, interestingly. Again, when I'm doing the map tour and I'm doing my prep, and I'll go along and I make my notes, and as I'm going along I'm making a note of what all the different productions are, facilities, buildings, sell points, you know, whatever they might be. And as I'm going down the list, something, you know, when your brain does that thing, hang on a minute, haven't I already had one of those? And then you start doubting yourself, oh, maybe I didn't. And then you look down this thing, no, we definitely did. I'm going to do the left-hand side on the way up, right-hand side the way. I know I'm going to be on the right-hand side of the road, but it makes sense because I'm going this way. I'm going to do the ones on the left first, I think. I'll say that. So we've got to our left a Taylor's. These are all standard base game. Sugar mill, dairy, and then grape processing unit. Just there. Pedestrians just not bothered. You saunter, you just take your time. Go all day. Then we've got animal dealer, just there. We have got Cotton Empire sell point, just there. And then we've got Cooper's Bales, just there. What's curious about Cooper's Bales? I don't know, because I watch Cole the Corn Star, and Cole's brother is Cooper, and he does baling. That is Cooper's. I mean, I don't know if that's just a coincidence. I don't know, but that's Cooper's Bales, just there. Then next door to that, you're turning around. There you go. We've got the vehicle workshop and vehicle shop just here. This is the reset point on the map as well. Just over there is where vehicles will start to reset or spawn when you purchase them. And saying that, I'm going to leave the tractor for a tune-up and grab a pickup. Perfect. Jump in that. So if you come down this side, gas station to our left, supermarket sell point just round behind that building there, oil mill just there, a bit further along, and we've got the spinnery behind this tall wall, and this is where we duplicate, which, like I say, kind of surprised me a little bit. I was a bit weird. Spinnery just there, and Taylor's just there. And we've got a Taylor's on the other side of the road as we go up. So Spinnery and Taylor's just here. The next door, grape processing unit. We had a grape processing unit on the end of the road as we were going up towards the animal dealer. So yeah, Taylor's and grape processing unit are duplicated. Then we come around here, and this is the river crossing. And then we've got a bit of a drive down the other side of the map. I had every intention of doing yesterday's mods today. At least part of it, there's the 60 building pack by Black Sheep Modding, which if you look at the mods yesterday, it takes the mods from 12 mods with a pack with 60 buildings in it to sort of 72 mods. It's crazy. And just recording this, I have stopped 10 times already. My throat feels like barbed wires in it. I'm not sure I'm going to get onto the mods. I might try and set it up and see how I feel. I have a load of throat lozenges and just crack on. So we're heading down this side of the river now, and right down the bottom we've got a limestone mine. Now the limestone mine again has got a production chain icon, but there's no production down there. It's the same as the forest ones. I think it's just an icon to take you there or to show it on the map. You can purchase the plot of land. The periphery is round it. I'll show you. So we came from here, which was the carpentry and sawmill, up there and into the town. We went up that side, up there to the animal dealer, Cotton Empire and Cooper Bales, then to the vehicle shop. Then we came down this side, did all of those, crossed over here, and we're now heading down this side. So when we get to the bottom here, if you look at this, this is all the verges, which is really expensive. But this plot here, 44, which is interesting because that bit there is the bit that says limestone mine, but this is the bit you can purchase. This is the bit that's important because this has got a load of lime in the bottom of it, which you can come and collect if you own the land. We do have, like I said, it's weird. This, not obsession, I suppose maybe, but at the main farm we got a lime point, and we must have gone to 5 lime stations. I'm trying to think how many we've been to now, or they've been, and then a whole load of lime here. But not a debris crusher or lime station anywhere. But anyway, but once you know, I suppose the downside is you can only buy that bit cheaply. To buy the rest of it, it's going to be quite expensive. I'm surprised that wasn't kind of split into smaller chunks. So you could put a production in there if you wanted to. You could add stones in if you wanted to, that kind of thing, which you can do. There's nothing stopping you from putting in government subsidy signs, a whole load of them, and just running through a few months until you've got enough money to buy the exterior of the map. However you want to go about it is entirely to you. It's not the sort of thing that whilst you're running a Let's Play or doing a storyline, you're going to build up those sorts of funds to afford to buy it. So I'm not going to go down into there because there's not a production in the bottom. We'll throw the drone up. I've got to be careful, we're on the edge here. So right on the edge, we look over. We've got this tiered, and then down the bottom you've got our lime. So let's do this, and you can have a look at the sort of the tiered system. So we drive round and round and round and round and down to the bottom here. And this is the section you can buy that's got all lime in the bottom of it. And this end is the end that's got the water in it. That is part of the sort of the verges of the map. But it's a nice area that you could put productions in. And up the tiered system, back up to where we are, just here. So, from here we've got to go back. There's a little fork in the road we need to head to. We'll take the other fork down to the last 2 sell points on the map. I want to reiterate at this point, it's a nice map. It's, is it clunky in places? Yeah, it's not the only map. I've said that on maps a lot of times. It's clunky in places. There's a few bits here and there. It depends on your style of gameplay. It depends on what you're looking for on a map. It's a good map. So, heading down this side. And if you want to just come on and farm, if productions, you're not interested in productions or the biogas plant, or if you don't want a lime mine or any of that, there's plenty of fields, there's plenty of space, there's plenty of forestry. You can just crack on and farm. So we sweep up here. I do like the sort of tiered, the different levels to it, as there's a lot of rise and fall in here as well. So we've got 2 competing companies vying for your business. Now these have a very specific in and out. So in here, and this is Pioneer, this side of the road. So Pioneer sell point is over here. We swing round and the exit is here. If you try and go out the other way, the barrier won't open, so you have to go out the correct way. And then the other one, entrance is this side, and that's the exit. This side of the road is Lizard. So the Lizard sell point is just here. And then we exit this side, and if you look just out to the left, you'll see just on the other side of the river, well, probably should be better off staying in the vehicle, is the farm. You can just see the harvester just over the other side there. So we've come all the way back up to that fork, we followed this fork down, round onto here, and we are now here at Lizard, and we're looking across there to the main farm, the start farm, just there. And that's the map. That's Estancia Pindorama MT by Modhub Brasil. I hope you found this useful and informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest, whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.